when Crocodile Dundee hit theaters in 1986. It wasn't just another fish-out-of-water comedy, it was a global phenomenon. The film catapulted Paul Hogan to international stardom and introduced audiences to the stunning and charismatic Linda Kozlowski. Their on-screen chemistry was electric. But behind the scenes, things were more complicated than fans ever imagined. Now, years later, Kozlowski is finally opening up about what really happened during filming, and her revelations are catching everyone off guard. At the time of filming, Linda was a relatively unknown actress, while Hogan was already a big deal. In Australia, their scenes together felt effortless, but according to Kozlowski, not everything on set was smooth sailing. In recent interviews, she's shared that while Hogan could be charming and funny, he also had a serious side that wasn't always easy to deal with. It was a strange dynamic, Kozlowski admitted. There were moments when Paul was incredibly generous and warm. But there were also times when the pressure of the production and his own insecurities would show. She recalled instances where Hogan would take control of scenes or change lines on the fly, something that left some crew members and actors frustrated. He liked things his way, she added. But Kozlowski also stressed that their connection wasn't just acting, it was real. During filming, their chemistry turned into a real-life romance, even though Hogan was married at the time. That fact brought its own emotional turmoil. "We were falling in love while knowing it wasn't supposed to happen," she confessed. "It was beautiful and painful all at once." Eventually, Hogan divorced his wife, and he and Kozlowski got married in 1990. While many assumed it was a fairy tale ending, the reality was much more complex. Kozlowski shared that their relationship often mirrored the power imbalance she felt on set. Paul was older, more experienced, and had a lot of control over the creative process. "I sometimes felt like I was trying to find my voice in his shadow," she explained. Though they stayed married for over 2 decades, the cracks eventually became too deep to ignore. They divorced in 2014. Still, Kozlowski looks back on Crocodile Dundee with a mix of nostalgia and hard-earned wisdom. She acknowledges how the film changed her life and opened doors, but also how it set the tone for a relationship that was both thrilling and, at times, stifling. "People always ask me what it was like working with Paul," she said. "And the truth is it was magical, but also messy. Just like real life." Interestingly, she's not bitter. In fact, her tone is one of acceptance. "We were 2 people thrown into a whirlwind of fame, attention, and emotion. It's easy to lose your footing in that kind of storm," Kozlowski reflected. "But I don't regret any of it. It shaped me." Today, Linda Kozlowski lives a quieter life, far from the spotlight. She's remarried, enjoys traveling, and has focused on a career outside of acting. But when asked about those early days on the Crocodile Dundee set, her answer remains honest and reflective. "That time was a turning point for my career, for my heart, and for how I saw myself. It wasn't always easy, but it was unforgettable." So, while fans remember the film for its rugged charm and iconic one-liners, Linda Kozlowski remembers it as something deeper, a beginning filled with passion, conflict, fame, and self-discovery. And now, years later, she's finally telling her side of the story.